Welcome to the Legion Outriders podcast, your source for the latest Legion news, opinion, and analysis. And now, the Outriders.
Hello, Outriders, and welcome to episode 135 of the Legion Outriders podcast, a podcast devoted to Star Wars and Star Wars Legion. I am Outrider Matt, and with me today, via remote satellites, we have Outrider Dan and LJ Jalapena. How you doing, bud?
I am great. I worked really hard to get my voice back this last week after Celebration, and then I nearly lost it again today after a wonderful day of gaming.
And in the quarantine zone over there is Dan. Dan, can you cough in our direction, please?
Yes. So, yeah, how does that work? You go to a con, and I get the crud.
I know it's amazing. I think I'm 2 for 2 now on the big conventions and actually making it out relatively unscathed. But you picked up a chest congestion, so we're all remote. This is a first for the Outriders. Usually we're all in the same room.
Not a first. We did it during COVID, during the quarantines.
Did we?
Me and Jeff. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. I'll shut up. Thanks, Dan.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, to keep us factually accurate with the history of the Outriders.
I am the personification of glasses push up actually. So yes.
Strong vibes from that. But yes, we do have LJ with us, and we have so much to cover from Star Wars Celebration, both for Star Wars news that's going to be coming out, all the shows and whatnot that got covered, some of our experiences there. There's some news for actual gaming that came out of there too. Plus we have some more cards to go over and all that kind of stuff, and some LVO news that is actually more than just a countdown. I know, I'm shocked. But anyways.
I have no words. Not just because I was muted and I said something. I have no words.
Okay. But so last weekend, as of recording now, it was the big Star Wars Celebration out in Anaheim. And Holly and I had an absolute blast out there. She splurged, and we got the Jedi Master VIP passes and went nuts on the swag and all that kind of stuff. On the other hand, there was LJ, who was down in the peasant fields toiling, I believe. What were you doing, bud?
I was demoing for Asmodee through Cascade Games, and I was demoing in their quote-unquote expert games section, which contained Star Wars Legion and Star Wars X-Wing.
Very nice. It seemed like every time I popped by there, those tables were absolutely full, and you guys had a great section because people could walk by the outside and see what's going on. So many people stopping to look and ask questions.
Yeah, so, I don't know how many times there was like an epic face-off or a good roll where you had people that were like hanging over the end there, and they were just watching and they were cheering, and they everybody, just generally speaking, seemed to be having a really, really, really great time, and it was super cool.
Yeah, it really was a fantastic time. Some of my favorite moments, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but the panels we got into, we got to see John Williams actually perform on his 90th birthday, with Harrison Ford coming out to congratulate him. They played the Raiders March and the Imperial March to wrap it up. But the way they kicked it off was with a 50-person men's chorus. And they had fog rolling out and red lights going everywhere. And they did Duel of the Fates. Just mind-blowing. I never thought I'd actually be able to see John Williams do that. And it was a complete surprise. But
that's pretty cool.
Did you get to catch that, LJ?
No, I've actually seen John Williams at the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, you have? That's actually...
They'll do fairly regularly once a year. He does a weekend of shows here in Hollywood, and that was actually a fairly regular family tradition until the last couple of years when the shows were less frequent. But he would do like general movie theme nights. There was one that was purely like Harry Potter themed. We actually did get to do they did Duel of the Fates live and Battle of the Heroes live. right after episode 3 came out that was really, really, really cool with like the full choir. So I can only imagine the light show that you got all made it, all that much better.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, just that I think justified the cost we paid for the tickets there. But of course, coming out of there was so much news. Dan, why don't you kick it off, and I'll kind of chime in because I was at a lot of these panels.
Yeah, so I kind of compiled a list of most of the media projects that were talked about, and I kind of put them in order of what's coming out sooner to what's going to be coming out in the further future. So they're not quite in order of when they were debuted or talked about, but we'll start close. And of course, first thing that was released out there was the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan.
Yes, and that was St. John and Williams, probably my number 1, but number 2 was being at the world premiere. Like everybody was there. They had the red carpet out there, and they were taking the pictures of all the actors, seeing Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, everybody else there. Like,
Well, they figured since they're already there for celebration, as well as use them.
Well, it was also the 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones, so there was talking about all that too.
But, it was so cool to see Hayden and Ewan McGregor. I will say I have 2 like fan gushy stories from Celebration. Because we were working a majority of the con day, but we did get breaks in the middle of the day, and there was one of the days, I think it was Friday. That was the day they did on the live stage the Hayden Christensen and the Ewan McGregor live like panel that they did. And I had just happened to take my lunch like 20 minutes before that happened, and so because I knew they were doing the live interviews on the stage, I just kind of went and wandered over there and like sat against it because I was like, well, maybe somebody fun will come out. And so it's like 20 minutes go by and they start playing music. I look up and on the big screen it's like Hayden Christensen. I'm like, oh my God. And I stand up, turn around, and they are walking them out like right there in front of me. And I just like look up and I'm like, starstruck. And then just hordes of people come running and screaming towards the stage. And they're up there hugging. They're talking to, they start talking to the interviewer, they wave. Everybody's going absolutely wild. And, the interviewer sits them down and they ask them like, Hayden, you're here for the show. We're looking forward to what do you have to say to the fans? And he picks up that microphone and he eyeballs this crowd and he says, this is where the fun begins. And everybody just dies. It was so cool. And,
but it not be said, you know how to pander out there and get people excited.
They know we like the memes, and to see them, happy, healthy, just messing around with the fans, doing the photos, the signatures and stuff. Like it just, as a fan, a lifelong fan of Star Wars, it was just really cool and very, very heartwarming to see them out there interacting with people and seeming like they were having a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the energy from all the people that were, especially in the panels and all that, just people were losing their mind, and it was absolutely wonderful to be part of that. Dan?
So you were late coming back from your lunch, and you blamed it on the crowd that mobbed the stage and just pinned you against it, right?
I couldn't get through them, and that's not even a lie. It was such a thick crowd, I had to wait for it to disperse to really cut my way back through it, but because they were long days, they were also fairly generous with the lunches, so luckily it caused no major issue.
Yep, but of course, they launched or they showed Obi-Wan at the con and then released it early on Disney Plus. So you had a couple hours on, us regular people out there.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and is it a bad time to say that I didn't actually watch it till like Saturday?
I was curious because I know you didn't have time while you were there, so I was haunting you with spoilers the entire time.
Yeah, Thursday night I went to a friend's house that lived nearby, and then Friday night I actually ended up seeing Top Gun at the theater because I didn't have the baby, so it's like, oh my God, this is a great time to see a movie. We don't have to worry about a babysitter. And so I actually went and saw a movie and didn't end up watching it until either late Friday, early Saturday, or late Saturday. I don't remember, but I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to avoid spoilers? I'm at Star Wars Celebration. This is the one place that's going to get spoiled for me. And actually, it ended up working out just fine.
Beautiful.
You're caught up through episode 3 now. Nice. All right, so before we get into spoilers about Obi-Wan, next thing that is on the docket is Andor, which they showed the trailer, and I don't know if it was, I think it was announced here, August 31st of 2022 is the release date.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool having Diego Luna and all those guys come out there. You can tell he's really, really excited to be on there. 2 seasons immediately, 12 episodes, then another 12 episodes. So that'll be pretty good.
Yeah, that'll keep you going for a while.
Yeah. That was interesting. The early rumors were 5 seasons, and then they said 3 seasons, and then they come out and announce 2 seasons. I don't know.
That's a big story.
Yeah. But they said season 1 is going to be set 5 years before Rogue One, and supposedly season 2 will end right as Rogue One begins. At least is what they talked about on there.
Makes sense.
Yep.
And then also in August of this year, Lego Star Wars is releasing their next special, the Summer Vacation Special.
That's fine. This is actually the first I've heard of this. So
thank you for the hard-hitting news that I was there for.
Yeah.
I actually did get the whole Lego Luke, Skywalker collection they just did for Lego Star Wars. They are actually pretty fun games, to their credit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anyone that can 100% that game, oh my God, you have my respect.
I met somebody in the Lego line at Star Wars Celebration.
Oh, jeez.
It's like, oh, yeah, I just 100%ed it. I was like, all right, dude. I haven't made it through the sequels yet, so.
But they said of this short, it's called Summer Vacation. It's, the main characters of the sequel trilogy, Rey, Poe, Finn, all them are taking a vacation after defeating Palpatine. So this is actually one of the few post-Episode 9 pieces of media, although it's obviously not canon. But one thing I thought was cool, Weird Al is actually voicing a character.
He is the Emperor.
Nice.
And then later in fall this year, Tales of the Jedi. Now, this has got a lot of interest on it.
Yeah. Filoni was the one that came out and kind of introduced that and brought out some of his animation team that's going to be working on it. But basically, it all sprung from the dude doesn't stop working. He was relaying this story about how he'd be on flights and he'd just be kind of jotting down story ideas for something cool he'd like to see in the universe. And apparently that's spun off into, hey, if you can find the money, we'll make a show out of it. And some of the stuff they're going to be talking about is really, really cool. We got to see, I don't know if it's the first episode, but it's, I don't want to say anything about it, but it was really, really good.
They did show, at least it was stated that they did show the first episode at Celebration.
That is the first episode, but yeah, it was really good. It was kind of a nice little feel good, but he said that there, as feel good as the first one was, there's going to be some very, very dark ones.
Right, and it's stated there'll be 6 episodes, so it's kind of like Visions, where it's only a couple, short episodes. Yeah. 3 episodes are going to focus on Ahsoka, and what's more interesting to me, 3 episodes on Dooku and Qui-Gon. Dooku before he leaves the Jedi Order.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
With Padawan Qui-Gon hanging out.
And Liam Neeson is confirmed to be voicing Qui-Gon.
Wowee. Hopefully it'll be a little bit easier for him than Freddie Prinze Jr. doing young Caleb beginning of Bad Batch.
Well, that's a nice segue, sir, because Bad Batch Season 2 is also coming out in fall of this year. And then the trailer was released, and we even posted that up on the Outrider Facebook.
Yeah, that one's
cool.
really good. I'm actually just started a rewatch for the first season of the Bad Batch, but I like what I see. The animation keeps getting better with these things.
Yes, more screaming of Hunter.
Hey, you leave me alone.
And starting in 2023 in February, Mando Season 3 will be coming out.
I think they're going to title this one Mando Season 3, Oops, All Mandalorians. There is going to be, they definitely, Katie Sackhoff was a big part of that. And there's, of course, that hanging storyline from the end of Season 2. And There was a bit of a leak trailer. I know that they had like an exclusive one for us there, and then they had an extended one further on with the Favreau and Filoni panel on there, and it was just, oh man, it blew my mind. It's seeing Mando's like dropping out of drop ships and just going around clearing corners, just doing Mando things. I was like so hyped.
Awesome.
Yeah, and on the cast list for that, they showed Christopher Lloyd is joining the cast, which I'm surprised because he's pushing it. He's up at 83 now.
Yeah, he is in there. I'm kind of curious what's going to happen with that too. They just had a scene with him on there.
Yeah, because I saw him at a Star Trek convention here in Vegas. God, feels like it's, I think it was like 10 years ago. And he had a panel, he was answering questions, and, you know, he was, you know, there, he was answering the questions, but you could kind of tell he's kind of getting up there in years. So
yeah, 10 years ago when he was a much more spry 73.
But Favreau has stated also that season 4 is currently being written.
You're damn right it is.
And then in spring of 2023, Visions season 2 is coming out. I liked Visions. LJ, did you?
Yeah, what do you think, LJ?
I liked Visions. I thought it felt like there was a good bit of stuff that was the same if you binged them. So my recommendation to like people that like hadn't watched it right away and maybe got to it later was that like reserve a week and like watch an episode a night, because I found that was a more enjoyable experience than like when I watched it all at once. But overall, like there were a couple of them that like artistically blew me away. There was a couple of them that maybe I appreciated more for different story arcs than the others, and there were a couple that like were just more fun, and I also enjoyed that too, because I just generally like Star Wars. I'm not super biased in that way. So like it was more, and I liked it. And if you want to do more, you know, I will maybe approach it in a different way that I did the first time, but I will be watching.
Yeah, there was definitely, I finally went through and finished watching them too, but there was some that I really, really liked, some that I could take or leave, but I am curious to see more of them come out. It's kind of like Love, Death, or Robots, you know, there's just some that you're like, yeah, that's cool. And like,
when there's a winner, there's like really a winner in there though. And it can be different for each person. People are, you know, they might take something different away from it too, just because of the format that they do it in. So I think that's a good read. That feels like how I feel.
Yeah, in season 2, we'll have some follow-up shorts following up from things that were in season 1. So I'm interested to see which ones they're picking and choosing. All right, and then also in spring of 2023, a kids show called The Young Jedi Adventures that's set in the High Republic era. So we're actually starting to see some of the High Republic stuff move into the visual, the TV and TV and movie stuff. Well, not quite movie stuff.
So what you're saying is because Dylan will be 3, that will be my son's real like first Star Wars show. Like that's how we'll hook him in.
No.
He already sees things. He already likes things. You're true. Maybe we should start with Caravan of Courage. I take that back. Jamie later.
Yes, of course, Caravan of Courage, the best piece of Star Wars media that there is. I've said this before on the cast. Yes,
that'll be it. It'll be fun to see, like, and obviously, if it is a kid show, then, you know, probably isn't geared towards a 30-year-old man like myself. But to see them develop the era and do it in, you know, a visual format as opposed to the books, like, that I'm interested in. So I want to see what kind of stuff they put into that show, because then my brain, of course, like many, automatically goes to, well, how can we translate that to Legion? How might I see that in Legion down the road? So, you know, there's always something to be gained out of stuff like that.
That way lies madness.
Well, that's why I'm here on the show.
Yeah, that's fair. Absolutely.
Speaking of High Republic, the Acolyte will also be debuting in 2023. No specific time frame in 2023 yet. But the Acolyte is said to be at the end of the High Republic era, so about 100 years before Episode 1.
Nice.
Whereas some of the current High Republic stuff they're saying is 200 years.
Oh, is that right? I thought it was all 100 years-ish, but okay, good to know.
Yep. So there'll be a little bit of a difference in time frame there. So, but they said during Celebration that they're going to be bringing back some Legends elements. So that could be anything from things that everyone loves in Legends to Jackson.
That's what it's there for. Bring out the good stuff.
As long as they hit Chewie with a planet, I'm here for it.
Hey, that was a moon, not a planet.
It was a moon, yeah.
Look, one man's moon is another man's Pluto, all right?
And besides, the Avengers already did that.
Yeah,
just
there
throw a
you
moon
go.
at me.
Just throw it at me.
The book of R.A. Salvatore say he will never write Star Wars again.
Of course, also coming in 2023, but no specific time yet, Ahsoka, of course, which is already in production.
Yeah. That was funny because they actually, the Friday panel, when they were talking with Lucasfilm and all that, they talked quite a bit about Ahsoka. They had I think it was Thursday, actually. It doesn't matter. They had a little clip from Rosario Dawson in costume. She's like, hey, we're shooting today, so can't be there. But she actually showed up on Saturday, and they showed the clip for Ahsoka on there. And holy crap. I don't mind telling you that when they had just a little bit of a clip of like Hera, you see the little head tails and the orange jumpsuit, and then Sabine. I knew Sabine was in it, but actually seeing it on the screen, and then they put up the mural from the Rebels characters up there, I got a little misty. I was really happy to see that. That was really cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah, Natasha Lou Bordizzo has already been confirmed to play Sabine. They have not said who is playing Hera yet, which is interesting because I saw a leaked version of that clip you're talking about, and it only shows Hera from behind as they're kind of walking into a room. They also did have Chopper, the physical Chopper, on stage there. Yeah, but they've already had a Chopper model because they had him in Rogue One, so that wasn't as big a surprise.
But the actor that they have playing Sabine looks exactly like her. Like she had the same kind of complexion, facial shape, and I was like, yeah, that's Sabine right there. Nailed it. Excellent casting.
Nice.
Excited.
Nice. And they actually had a lot of media around this show called Skeleton Crew. At least a lot that made it out. Which is weird because they're still doing casting calls, so they're still in pre-production. So I'm surprised they're pushing it so hard.
Yeah, this was the first announcement they put out that this is even something they're working on. I guess they're just kind of throwing things together.
It was described, yes, as a quote-unquote coming-of-age story involving kids, but not a kids show. So they're trying to do kind of a Stranger Things kind of thing?
A Stranger Jedi kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Jude Law involved?
Yeah, so Jude Law is going to have a role.
Yeah,
cool. And they said the press release I read said the casting calls are open for children 11 to 12 years old to star in that. So,
do you like Dungeons and Dragons?
I'm getting vibes of like these kids like either stealing or landing on a starship and it's just being flown out in the middle of nowhere. And
wait, isn't that Star Trek Prodigy?
Yeah, it's Star Trek Prodigy. Basically, I'm like, didn't they already do that?
What a star.
Or I'll pull The Simpsons did it, the episode from a million years ago where the four boys rent a car and drive.
Oh yeah, wow,
classic.
Did it.
Switching over to video games, Jedi Survivor, which will also be coming out in 2023. A little teaser trailer was released for that. So the sequel to Fallen Order, which will be set 5 years after Fallen Order. So that's actually the same time as the Kenobi series right now.
Yeah,
timeline-wise.
Yeah, the amount of people out there was quite a bit of people cosplaying as Cass. It was
actually, you're right. I didn't think about that till you said that, but there was a lot of people and a lot of good cosplays.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm excited because that's a space that I'm interested for them to fill more in. And I thoroughly enjoyed that game, so big props to see more from them.
Actually, I need to go back and replay it now.
Yeah, it's nice that they're pulling a lot of stuff from that game into Kenobi.
Yeah.
Like the whole Inquisitor base and everything. But anyway.
Oh, yes. With the Inquisitors and stuff. I was going to say, did I miss something?
Yeah.
I saw a lot of confused looks on the webcams.
Yeah, developing the Inquisitor part, of course. Yeah. The more of that, the merrier.
That's not unusual for us anyways, Dan.
Also, podcast favorite, Star Wars Hunters, by our good friends at Zynga. They had a booth there with playable demos.
Their booth was actually really nice. Like, it was a big booth for that game. And I talked Friday morning or Saturday morning with one of the developers there for a good 10-15 minutes. And he said they actually have, if you know how to get into, like, open betas or even alphas and stuff, like you can actually get into and play that game now if you want to like test
Yeah,
it.
yeah. No, it's in other regions other than the U.S. It's been on a beta. I believe Australia is currently beta.
But yeah, he says they're playtesting like now the characters that come out after they release the game. So they're moving and grooving on that one. I think they're putting more effort into it than people might realize.
Which is the one strange thing, the amount of effort they did. They had a panel too.
Yep.
They had to talk about it. They had this huge booth. They're pushing it, but no release date.
Nope.
So it's like
they really want it to be thorough and complete before they even publish the release date. That was something that guy talked to me about. He said they're very serious about making sure that they are confidently able to release the product and the follow-up waves that they're going to push out before they even release it.
This is the same game with 2 Jawas in a trench coat?
Yes.
Which is exactly what I'm going to be playing.
Okay, let's stop talking about it. What's the next one?
Taika Waititi's film, which still has no title or info, was stated to be coming out in late 2023.
Actually, I think that is the title.
This is Taika Waititi's film.
I need to know.
And one bit of sad news that came out, the Lando series was announced that it was indefinitely delayed right now. And Kathleen Kennedy said it was citing issues with scheduling with Donald Glover, saying he's very, very busy. And
he
all
is
this.
a very busy man because he's still doing Atlanta and some other stuff too. Plus, he got that whole Gambino thing going on.
Yeah, I assume they're also like simultaneously filming the Community movie.
Yes.
Because 6 seasons of movie.
That's right. I'm here for it.
I'm here for it. Who's next?
So dipping out of Star Wars, but still in Lucasfilm, Willow. Yes. Is getting a series that's going to be debuting on November 30th of 2022. It's set 20 years after the film, which, makes sense because everyone aged that amount since the film.
Yes. Well, yeah, even more. I think it's closer to 30.
Oh, gee.
They were mentioning that during the panel. But it looks really good. They've got Sorsha coming back. Of course, Willow Ufgood, Warwick Davis will be there. And they're expanding the roster with some younger faces too, but it looks pretty good. No news on Mad Mardigan yet. Very sad, but not unexpected.
And Indiana Jones 5 got its release date of June 30th, 2023, but they didn't give any other info other than a photo of Indy walking across a bridge being backlit. So.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Indy 5, The Search for More Money.
Yeah, some of the, I'm sure they've spent all this time, not only because there was rumors that Harrison Ford got hurt, so he needed to rest and recover, but some of the early script leaks coming out of there have been a little cringy, so I'm hoping they're rewriting that. And then Parks news, they did have some Parks panels, but the coolest thing is during Celebration, they started having Boba from Book of Boba Fett and Fennec Shan start walking around as walk-around characters in Galaxy's Edge.
Holy cow, I didn't see that. You know what?
Cool.
I did see at Galaxy's Edge during Star Wars night was Jon Favreau walking by and everybody losing their mind.
Oh, nice.
I bet.
Yeah.
So this is kind of big for Galaxy's Edge because this is their first time breaking their such hard stance on this is the time frame of Galaxy's Edge, and it will only be between episodes 8 and 9. So, I mean, this gives them so much more flexibility. It's such a great idea. Surprised they didn't do it sooner.
Yeah, let's have some fun with some Star Wars, huh?
Yeah.
On the press release I read for this, it's only going to be in Disneyland. They're not going to do it in Disney World. Of course, they didn't say why, but general consensus is due to the Galactic Star Cruiser having that set story. They don't want someone coming off the Star Cruiser and accidentally seeing it.
They wanted to do it at the Superior Disneyland. I understand.
The Star Cruiser, the excursion days are scheduled, so it's like you just do it on every other day. You can get around that, not a problem. But they did also state that Mando and Grogu will also be making appearances at a later date. So I'm curious how they're going to do Grogu. Is it going to be like a little, like they've done little not animatronic, but like little remote control things go around, or is he going to be like a fixed meet and greet? Will it be like a puppet, or will it be a remote control thing? Or
they had season 3 panel, and with the big long table, and at the end of it, freaking Favreau pulls out the puppet and it starts moving around and waving and doing all that. So I think it'll be something probably similar to that.
Will Bamando be carrying Grogu around, or is he going to be on a separate little, the floating hover egg?
Yeah, I expect somebody will be.
They're working on the technology right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they can have the hovering floating egg.
They'll break out some tiki room birds and dress them up as Grogu.
Yeah. No, we've gone too deep. Take it back.
And of course, I know there were a million panels, and you had to pick and choose, Matt. So I know you didn't get to see this panel, but I did watch the stream of this one, the Star Tours 35th anniversary panel. Near and dear to my heart, of course.
Of course.
You know what actually decided me on which panels I was going to go to is because we had the VIP badges. We got to walk into basically the celebration stage, which is where they did all the biggest stuff. If we wanted to go to any of the other ones like they did for the Star Tours 35th, I would have to get in line. And you know what? I just can't do that,
You just didn't want to get in line.
Didn't want to get in line because you paid for the privilege to not stand in line. So.
Absolutely.
However, I did stand in one line, and I was sending you guys pictures of this one.
Okay. But at the Star Tours panel, of course, they had a bunch of Imagineers, including the great Tony Baxter. And anyone who knows Disney parks, Tony Baxter is like the OG, going as far back as Thunder Mountain.
That's the mustache guy.
Yes.
Okay, I like
the mustache guy, the one.
Mustache guy.
And when asked, hey, are you guys...
Guy.
When they were asked, hey, you guys going to do anything more with Star Tours? And they said, you know what? We're working on some new stuff. So they are confirmed that there will be new scenes coming to Star Tours. We haven't had one since Rise of Skywalker. So
yeah.
And the last panel to talk about, of course, one that you're both... Oh, sorry.
Sorry, one last thing. Finally, after dozens and dozens of missions, hundreds of hours flown with a completely... spotless record, I got burned. On Star Tours. I was outed as the rebel spy, and I'm still run. So that's why I'm recording this in an undisclosed location. But
nice. Very cool. That's why we really had to go remote.
I see.
For Matt's safety.
I see. So, of course, the one panel that all of our Legion listeners were most excited for.
Yeah, the one
was,
nice
of course, the
right.
Yes, what you actually stood in line for was the Asmodee panel. Unfortunately, being not there, I had to watch the stream remotely, and thank you, Crabhawk, for putting that stream up. Unfortunately, the audio quality, and I can't blame Crabhawk for this, the audio quality was a little poor. I unfortunately couldn't hear much what was going on, so I'll have to rely on your experiences here, Matt.
Yeah, so I was actually live tweeting, I guess, but it was in Discord on our Discord, but just anything that was kind of like and taking pictures and putting them up when I could. But it was really good. I actually saw Simone. We were both heading up to the panel. I finally got a chance to introduce myself, say hey, and we chatted for a little bit on the way over there. But then I jumped in the line because she went to the spot where the presenters and panel guests are going to go, and then I saw the front of the line, and then I saw the middle of the line, and I kept going, and then I saw the end of the line. I was like, wait, are you guys all here for the Asmodee? And it was literally hundreds and hundreds of people. It was pretty amazing, and that was like half an hour before it was supposed to start. So
wow, that's super cool.
Yeah.
You said you were maybe almost not going to get in when you were texting me about it.
I was shocked. It actually turns out it's a really, really big room they had it in, so it didn't quite fill up. But
that's good.
I was a little scared because they were like, "Oh, we got to cut off," and it was like 15 feet behind where I was standing. I was like, "Whoa, that's
wow."
Yeah, still, it turns out everybody got in, but it was a really good panel. They talked about a bunch of the games, the Outer Rim expansion, Unfinished Business. We actually played that today. Well, I played it today. Dan stayed home, and LJ wasn't invited. So, but I enjoyed that. The Jabba's Palace Love Letter. We played a couple rounds of that. It's Love Letter with Star Wars with some extra twists on the rules, but it was a lot of fun. The Ewok stuff, though, man, there was a lot of people excited for the Ewoks.
Yes, so and everybody was kind of like speculating, wondering what was going to happen because. For those that came and either went through and bought something in the line, or they were there for the Aether Sprite, we couldn't help but notice that there was a little sign that said Yub Nub sitting in one of the display cases. So, of course, that was the speculation, and the hope was that we were finally going to get to see some miniatures for the Ewoks. And man, did they not disappoint. Those guys are tiny, but they are detailed. And they're filled with character. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I wasn't particularly interested in playing Ewoks in Legion myself, but I'm just like consistently blown away with how the designers have grown when it comes to the miniature, designing aspect. A lot of credit goes out to Derek and, his team, because they've really grown that side of Legion from Fantasy Flight to AMG. And honestly, I'm very impressed with what I saw in person, and I think people are going to have a lot of fun with them. I think they will pass a lot of people's expectations, and that'll be really cool.
Yeah. But the panel was really good. They were up there. They had the Lucasfilm Limited guy that actually does the approvals that Simone and the other folks have to deal with. And I definitely got the impression he cares about the property, maybe not a gamer, but it was kind of cool. Of course, there was some loud people, a little bit salty, screaming about Armada during the Q&A portion of the back. I can't win them all, but I was very happy to see all that stuff.
Awesome.
And I'm sure everything that was talked about in that panel is leaked out to the interwebs now. So
a lot of tactical logs and tactical trees, but I mean, you kind of need that for the Ewoks, as small as they are.
Yeah, as small as they are, honestly, it works. And obviously, we haven't seen the kits, so we don't know exactly how malleable that whole package is, but I don't think it'll be hard if you're not a fan of the tactical rock aspects to take them off, or maybe you start chopping off stormtrooper heads and you put them on them instead. So the opportunities, as always, will be endless.
As long as we get Paplu on a speeder bike, we'll be good. But anyways, that is a whole bunch of information there from Star Wars Celebration. If you are still with us at this point, thank you. That's so kind of you. I appreciate it.
I have one more thing to gush about.
Oh, please.
Sorry. I told you I would, so I have to do it.
You have to. I was waiting for it.
And I don't know if folks know this or not, but the gentleman who voiced Darth Maul in the Clone Wars and Rebels TV show, his name is Sam Witwer. And if you did not know, he is an avid Legion fan. And he was there doing photographs, autographs, and then he did he did one of those like live panels that they happen to walk by on the stage, and he was Maul was pictured on the OP card that the demoers got to give away after each demo we did of Star Wars Legion, and it's the full art of him sitting on the throne. And then as part of the demo crew and the folks like yourself who went to the Asmodee panel, we received a 2 foot by 3 foot print of that full art, which was very cool. And I don't do cons like this. I do the wargaming one specifically. And I definitely have a very much don't meet your heroes feeling about, when it comes to meeting the actors and voice actors in this case of the characters that you love. But when they gave me that poster, I was like, all right, I'm going to check and see if he has any signing times left on Sunday. He did. And I went and got in line for that. First of all, it was hilarious because he was half an hour late for the signings because it was 3:00 when our time was supposed to start. I turned around and him and Matt Lanter, the guy who voiced Anakin in Clone Wars, they were on the live stage talking. And I'm surrounded by all these people here to get our Sam signature. And we're like, wait a sec. And so, first of all, that was hilarious. But then we patiently waited. He did come immediately after that, which was awesome. There was wasn't a big delay. And he saw that I was wearing the Asmodee shirt. And he asked me if, I played the game. And of course, I was like, well, yes, I do happen to be familiar with Star Wars Legion. Why'd you ask?
Don't you know who I am?
And it was so cool because he was very personable. He was very nice. He was very kind. He asked me lots of questions.
Lots of rules.
And, I not any rules questions. And I told him, I said, hey, I just wanted to say thanks because when I wrote the mall article for AMG, you gave me so many great quotes to work with, and it was just a wealth of information for me to draw from, and it made writing that article so easy. And he was like, man, I read that article. You did a great job. That was so cool. And I about fell over because I was so enthused that he actually he keeps that close of a watch on the game, that he knew about the articles and that he knew what quote I used to kick off the article, and was that kind of in touch with the game. So it is such a cool sign to know that there are those people that you idolize or that you love that are on that level on the celebrity side. And honestly, that was one of the coolest parts of walking by all of those signature blocks is Carl Weathers seemed like he was talking with every single person. D. Bradley Baker, every single person. Esposito, every single person. It was so cool to see how personable a lot of these actors and actresses were. And I would love to close out the discussion on Celebration on that because I really think it puts a nice bow on it.
Well, too bad. We're going to talk about how you wanted him to sign something that was definitely off book for Maul. Can you tell the people what it was that you did not get authorized?
So we were joking around with what kind of quotes we want to put on the Maul poster. And so I ended up going with I was expecting Kenobi. Because I thought that'd be hilarious when you walk to the office, you see the Maul poster, and it says, wait, I was expecting somebody else. I thought it would be hilarious to have him write "Live Long and Prosper" on the poster. His manager did not think that, so we did not end up going with that. And then, Matt, you had a tea-related suggestion that I thought was hilarious.
Wait, which one? I had so many great ones.
Would you like to regale us with your tea suggestion?
The tea? Wait, which one was that?
Oh, the Earl Grey one.
Oh, yeah, tea, Earl Grey.
Hot. I thought that was also a great suggestion, but you had to go through the person first, so unfortunately that was a no-go.
The one I liked most that you didn't select was instead of Kenobi, which I think is probably one of those ones, is do Khan instead.
Do Khan instead. They see the K, they assume it's going one way, they go the other. Okay. Yeah, that was also, there were so many good ones, but I'm very happy with my final choice. It was
okay. So now that we've got an extra bow on that, we are going to take a short break, and then we'll be back to talk about some of the cards and updates we've been getting in the meantime. Be right back, Outriders. Hey guys, Matt here to tell you about our friends over at 6UP Supply. If you're like me and don't have access to your own 3D printers, 6UP Supply has you covered with a whole suite of printing services to bring those awesome files to life. The Outriders are proud to be partnered with 6UP, and you could find special themed terrain, gear, and tokens with a big discount for Patreon members in the Outrider Central section of the website. And that's not all. You can also get terrain bases, game supplies, tools, LED kits, and more. Stuff is being added all the time. So stop by the number 6upsupply.com and use coupon code OUTRIDER to save 10% on your next order, and let them help you up your game.
You are receiving the Legion Outriders podcast. Ending the transmission now would be most unfortunate. And now, the Outriders.
Welcome back, Outriders. We are back with LJ and Dan and myself, of course, Outrider Matt. And we've got more Legion, some Legion news to talk about, LVO news. Before we get started, we'd like, of course, to take a second to thank our Patreons that make recording and publishing this show possible. If you'd like to become a Patreon patron, head to patreon.com/Legion Outriders. There we go. No problem. We got it done. I didn't forget it from the first part. That's absolutely smooth.
Become a patron of the Patreon. Yes.
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 We're leaving it in. I don't care. I'm tired. But anyways, okay. With the LVO update, Dan, why don't you kick it off?
Well, of course, we have 237 days to LVO.
Of course we do. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. And we've already mentioned last episode that the LVO channel on the Discord has been reactivated. Thank you, LJ, for reactivating
Of course. We had to get ready to go with ticket sales coming up here soon.
Oh, yeah. So speaking of tickets, depending on how quickly we edit and push this episode, you probably have already bought your tickets because they are going live Monday, June 6th, 2022. So I know I've got an alarm set on my phone. I will be at work, so I'm going to have to be, swiping down to refresh on my phone constantly for that.
I got alarmed there for a second. I was like, wait, it can't be coming up already. I need to get my... Oh, wait, I'll be on staff again. Never mind.
Aw, that's okay. We appreciate your help.
I appreciate
make the LVO happen.
how awesome I am. So
you can thank me for my service.
Yes.
But I do plan on playing myself and along with the rest of the Outrider staff here.
Dan is Dan.
Yes. Yeah, Dan was he was talking about helping and judging or whatever, and I was like, no, you're not allowed. It's not that we don't want and love you, but you deserve to play, and you should play. So you better get a ticket, otherwise you're going to work on staff.
Well, I'm hoping to get
He's going to work on staff anyways. So
I'm happy to help. Before and after being local here, it's convenient to get down there. Of course, I'm more than happy to contribute. Star Tours is always available as a table, and depending on how quickly I can get table number 2 up and running, that might be available as well. Tickets are going to be on sale very soon here. I'm assuming they'll go probably faster than last year, because last year was, 2 hours?
Yeah. It was... I was just trying to think of the number. I know it was 5 hours when we sold tickets for the 2020 event, and I think, 2.5 for this last one. It was pretty quick, and, of course, the big difference and... talk of the town, whatever you want to call it, between this event and the previous one is that the main event is an official grand championship and is a qualifier for, whatever Worlds happens to fall after LVO 2023. So, we're all really excited that that recognition has been given by AMG and that we were allowed to make it an official event. We are going to have it's the exact same schedule as last year. People gave us great feedback on what we did in 2022 this past January. So we did the main event all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 128 people on Friday, and then a 2-1 cut to Saturday, and then 3-0 top 8 play for those 4 spots and the flight on Sunday. And then on Saturday, there will be a 64-player unconventional warfare event. We did decide to do that format again because it just got really, really good reviews. I'll be honest. I've never seen a side event crowd have more fun than unconventional warfare. And that 48, 50-person event that Brad ran for me was bigger than most Legion events that other people have played in, period. So it was really cool to give that kind of side event for people to jump into if they didn't make it into day 2. And then, of course, we'll do our 2-round doubles event again on Sunday. So that's just the 2 games, but you play at a bigger points limit. And, you just, have 3 hours, go throw dice against each other, have fun. I want to see 4 ATSTs on the table again. I want to see all the heavies. I want to see all the supports. Just go blast each other while we finish up the main event. So, like I said, it'll be those 3 events once again. They're going to offer a ticket for each of them. And if you are trying to go to the LVO, also make sure you buy a con badge. But don't be afraid to buy that afterwards. They never run out, so you don't have to buy that first thing. And you can buy the tickets without buying a con badge, is my understanding, unlike your Adepticons and some of the other events. And then, of course, they are, and this is special for us this year, they are doing a VIP ticket, which will include a convention badge and tickets to all 3 of those main events. and it also will include, I believe, a T-shirt, a highball glass, and it should include a special Legion Tournament Circuit tray mat. Because if you don't know, Frontline Gaming has these awesome trays, which are great for the day of to move your army from table to table. And I believe they're including the tray as well, but I won't know for 100% sure till I see the ticket go on sale.
Don't hold them to it.
Yeah, don't hold them to it. And because we've got 7 months, guys, if you buy the VIP ticket, we're going to add more stuff to it. I didn't go around with my little cup and with my quarter in it to try to get stuff quite yet because we're still so far out. But we gave away so much stuff last year that I think for the people that do go in on the VIP ticket, because it probably will be fairly expensive, but once you price it out, it's actually kind of a good deal. We're probably going to add to it after the fact.
Is this going to be like a Kickstarter thing? Are there pledge goals?
No, it's not quite that fancy, but hey, if there's any sponsors that would love to support the biggest and best Legion event of the year every year, hey, you know where to reach out. I can help you, and we love to get new sponsors and new people involved. It's always a great time, and I appreciate you guys as locals for hyping it on the show. Thank you, Dan, for keeping the count, which is at 237 days. Going to steal that from you. It was such a great experience to be back with everybody this last year and to run such a large event. And we're putting in the time and the effort right now to make it, the best. Once again, we've been building the Frontline Gaming terrain inventory.
Yeah.
For those who have never heard me plug that, basically Frontline is starting to store Star Wars Legion terrain for us in their warehouse. Currently, we have 20 tables in that storage, but it'll be up to 26 after the Atlantic City Open because Nick is so kindly donating 6 tables to that effort. And we have a couple terrain producers that are working right now, and the actual number that I'm at is probably around 36. So by the time we get to the Lone Star Open, there will be 36 tables that will be brought to every single Frontline Gaming event, assuming the TOs request it. So that will allow those TOs to run 64-player events without having to bring a single bit of terrain or a mat. Now, not you, Matt, the rollout kind.
Me too. That's fine.
I can bring you 2. If you fit in the box, you're good to go. But the TOs would not have to lift a finger to run events. And I'm so appreciative of Frontline for providing that service for us. That's like 6 to 7 events a year that they just bring the terrain for us and you're good to go. So the goal, if you are a terrain producer, if you're someone that maybe you have a really nice table that you would like to go and travel to events 6-7 times a year and you're interested in donating a table, or if you'd like to, collaborate to make a table happen, reach out because 64 tables do not build themselves. Let me tell you that.
Dan, we might need to open up a Star Tours branch office.
Yeah, you said you were working on table number 2, right?
Oh, yes. Well, we all know the focus of my Star Tours table are those little shuttles, and those are not easy to acquire, nor are they inexpensive. So.
No, they are. Oh, man, it is such a great table, though, every time we get that thing gets rolled out. So excited to hear that you're making more for that thing.
So speaking of, I know you said you haven't been passing around the collection plate yet, but I know we're a bit early too, but is there anything that the community can help with?
At all? Just anything that they can help with? Honestly, we're actually doing okay on some of the usual things, like staffing this far out can be difficult, but, the call to action for that was actually pretty successful this time. I mean, honestly, again, if there's any, no matter how big or small your business may be, if you're interested in donating to a prize pool, reach out to me. If you're interested in sponsoring a table for the collection, reach out to me. If you want to know how, your local community can get more involved with like the wider circuit and grow, reach out too. We actually have a side Discord that I created recently just for TOs to get resources and share ideas and talk to their other TOs. And, now that Legion tournaments seem to be back in full force, we're there to grow that side of things too. So that's actually something that I've been wanting to plug more is, hey, if you want to grow your events, talk to me and we'll see what we can do. to either support you or get you with like-minded TOs that can assist you. And that goes hand in hand with the LVO stuff. I know I tend to be the driving force behind a lot of this, but it doesn't happen with just me. It's so much a local product. It's so much a product of people that donate and hold up the community and really make it as great as and impactful as it currently is. So yeah, I mean, those are probably the two big things: the terrain, and hey, you want your prize support to make it around to the events. Throw it at us, and we'll happily dish it out or work something out. And I want to say that was probably one of the biggest highlights from last year as well. There was 8 to 9 rounds of Legion that was played over the 3 days. The more rounds you play, the more stuff we give you. Your win and loss record does not necessarily decide the amount of swag that you go home with. Now, naturally, we try to give, a little more to the people that make those top tables by the end of the weekend. Winning 9 games in a row is a Herculean effort. However, I really liked that every round you played last year, you basically walked away with something, and that doesn't make itself. We don't, receive the support that makes that happen without, the community pitching in. So I'll always rattle that can for people willing to listen.
It's community members like you that make NPR possible.
It wasn't quite the pitch, but that was essentially the pitch. So thank you for breaking it down. Yep.
And one quick thing I forgot to mention, of course, the player packets for the 3 days are currently posted on the LVO Discord. Are they up anywhere else?
Yeah, so they're on the Legion Discord in the LVO section. They're pinned in that channel. There is also a Frontline Gaming Star Wars Legion group on the Facebooks that you could jump into, where we post information for all of the Frontline Gaming Legion events. You can check out those packets now, or you can go to the Frontline Gaming website, go to their store, and check out those packets. I will note that the packets do have the links for all of the tickets. Now, the links are not fully live. You have to enter a password if you try to go in it now. It's not 12345. I apologize, Matt. But if you
That's
are
the same
like
as
me,
on my luggage.
thank you, and you want to have everything ready to go, you can find those. You can go to the pages now, and then 10 a.m. Pacific time on Monday the 6th, those will go live. And like we've said, get yours when they open, because they will go fast. They always go fast, and it'll be a good time. Just like
and get on the standby list if you happen to be that the one that's cut off, because there's always room on the standby.
I tried to get Frontline to make the wait list before tickets go on sale this time, so there's no delay between the time we fill up and the time that you can sign up for that wait list. Because if you do end up saying that, hey, I'm too late, it's wait list only, always put your name on that, because there's always last minute drops. And I'm telling you, if maybe you're going to go play a different game on Saturday or Sunday, and you were maybe going to go or thinking about going to the LVO anyway, it is always worth checking in with us as we get closer. We never turn people away. Even if for some reason all 128 people turn up, I see no reason why we turn you away if we have the space and we have the terrain.
Yeah, we even had ringers last time because we just needed more people to play.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and sometimes, too, there'll be people that are like, I'm not, super interested in playing, but I'll play if you need somebody. Cool, now we don't have a buy. Thank you. You just filled one of the toughest roles I have to fill as a TO every tournament. Seriously, there's a space for everybody and a role for everybody. I can't understate that enough.
There's more than a few players that pick up that bucket of beer, John.
John.
Multiple buckets.
Yeah. All right. So, we're all excited for LVO. And, of course, we'll probably have you on closer to LVO to talk more details once.
And we need to keep building the hype over the next 7 months. So.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. We're going to have to spoil all that sweet prize support, because the hope, and, I'm waiting for organized play, of course, to confirm this, but should be hopefully new year, new prize support. And hopefully LVO will see the first of the 2023 kit. Fingers crossed.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Now, and since we have LJ here, and he did note that he wrote the articles for these cards that we're about to talk about, I'm going to have you recite them all from memory now.
All right, sounds good. I'm going to start with the ones that I forgot to include in the articles: the raiding party leader and the frenzied gunner.
Hey,
Did you forget, or?
There were reasons. Let's put it that way. But no, honestly, like when I saw the frenzied gunner, I laughed so hard. And you want to know why I was like practically rolling on the floor laughing?
why else?
Somebody had put the 2 stupid gray dots on his eyeballs. It was the frenzied gunner, but he had the gray dots from the mercenary card. They had superimposed that over his eyeballs, and I was like, oh my god, that has got to be one of the funnier Legion memes I've seen in the last couple of years. We've got, honestly, the articles have been a treat, and I'm so glad that we've got the full arts that have made into those, and even the stuff like the frenzied gunner and the raiding party later that didn't make an article was still spoiled by AMG, so keep doing what you are doing, gracious overlords. This is awesome. And the people love to see the information. And we've got some cool stuff here. The raiding party leader coming in with allies of convenience and field commander, which will let you run kind of maybe a less hero-focused mercenary force. Love that. Demoralize one for spice because, why not? Frenzied Gunner, which lets you add a random die depending on how you roll to your attack pool for no drawback, if I'm reading this card correctly. Also good. I might get a white dice or I might get a red dice. Cool. That's worth 5 points to me. I didn't even realize that didn't have a drawback. That's super cool. And then, of course, we go on and on and on about the upgrade card pack. We have the best chin in the galaxy, Gar Saxon. That I believe, did you guys already gush and talk about him?
One sec, just before we get on that. So, raiding party leader, 10 points. These are both vehicle upgrades, and they are only for heavies and only, what is that? The
mercenary. The 2 cross axes, which we don't have a name for, but we're assuming that's mercenary only. Yeah,
you're going through the cards for the readers at home that are, in this audio only format. Maybe don't have the cards in front of them. Yes. All right, fair point.
Join me in the theater of the mind.
The theater. Yes. So, and I actually will note this is something that is actually I just picked up on here too. Frenzied Gunner, not unique. Raiding party leader, unique. So you actually might be able to run more than one frenzied gunner, which I also just noticed. I thought that was really cool. You said that it's got the little axe symbol only, heavy only. Yep. Allies of convenience, field commander demoralize, and then they add a random dice. 10 points, 5 points respectively. Cool. Now did I get everything?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, perfect.
The cool thing with this is between the raiding party leader, the Vigo, the Capo, Gar, and Maul, this not a faction, this battle force is hitting the ground with up to 5 potential commander options. Which is great.
It's not going to be like that core box release problem for sure. It definitely seems like your options are fairly stacked at release, which is great. I'm here for it. I have my 2 Shadow Collective core sets on pre-order. I have Gar Saxon on pre-order. I've got Bosk on pre-order, and I have 2 extra Pike boxes on pre-order as well. So I'm fairly into the Shadow Collective.
Those are rookie numbers. You got to get those numbers.
I don't have any AA5s on pre-order, but maybe. I did get some stored credit at that tournament I went to today in Pasadena, so I might have to put in some orders for the AA5s because those are going to be pretty cool with these upgrades.
All right.
Yeah. So I picked up my AA5 on a May the 4th deal that our store was running, and yes, I've gotten the parts from the wonderful people in our community that printed them for me to do the conversion that Legion 99 made to convert the AA5 into a Star Speeder 3000.
Well, I was going to say, you're not going to stick the TIE Fighter wings on the side of it, are you?
No, the into the Star Tours Star Speeder.
Yeah. Okay. I was hoping for the Spaceballs conversion kit. I'm waiting for that to come out. Summer 2023.
Eagle 5?
Eagle 5. Exactly. All right. I see you were just trying to delay the power of the Crimson Chin. Are you ready to talk about Gar Saxon?
Yes, Gar Saxon.
Now, to refresh myself, you guys have not done the deep dive on Gar Saxon yet, correct?
No, because he had not yet come out as of our last episode.
Okay, so yeah, the first thing that I noticed, like when I looked at that Gar Saxon card, was 7 upgrade slots.
Yeah, they
Holy
literally
Swiss Army knife, Batman.
Yeah, they filled the entire bar.
Yeah, that is something.
Wait,
so yeah,
have we seen the back of it? Maybe it wraps around.
maybe he has. Yes, he's actually got 14 upgrade slots. I just failed to mention that in the article.
Yeah,
it's a surprise later.
I mean,
Just like the secret factions hidden under the dots on the card, right? Facebook. Yeah, you've got a classic Mandalorian profile, jump 2, impervious, 3-up save, just like we've seen on other Mandos. Of course, allies of convenience, like we saw on Darth Maul, awesome. Compel, awesome. Sharpshooter 1, great. And of course, Surge to crit. So a great standard profile coming in at 105 points and a commander unit. Also has 5 health, 2 courage, similar to Mando's of his stature, and 2 red on the advanced combat training. And of course, a red, 2 black, white, 1 to 2, Pierce 1 for his blaster pistol. And
did you say he searches for defense also?
Yeah, 3-up save, surge to defense. Same lingo, different game. Yeah, very, very good profile across the board. Trooper, as one would expect. And of course, because he's got, so for the actual upgrades themselves, 2 trainings, 1 comms, 2 gear, and 2 armament. Being a Mandalorian, he's rocking a flame projector, jetpack rockets, and his Galar 90 rifle. You want to tell us what those do?
Weapons are his religion.
Weapons are his religion.
Oh, man.
But of course, with only 2 armament slots, you've got to, do the pick 2 out of this pool of 3. Well, 3 that have been revealed. There's some speculation on more, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But the first upgrade is Saxon's Galar 90 rifle. This is a sniper-esque rifle, range 1 to 4, single rainbow, high velocity, lethal, long shot, 15 points. So this thing wants to just eat aims.
Yeah, you had me at high velocity, to be perfectly honest. That is a big factor in today's game. And even if I don't necessarily run him with the sniper, after saying Dallas paint the sniper version, that's probably going to be my Gar. He looks so good with that. That's just a sleek rifle. The miniature looks very nice with it. But, it doesn't have cumbersome like Cassian sniper. So for 15 points to give him that option, throw the long shot on there to shoot at range 5 instead, or even just fire on the approach before you get to the range 1 to 2 for his blaster pistol. People were harping on the 15 points a little bit, but I kind of like it. I'm fine with it.
No, it seems like a solid, cheap option for him. Next thing we've got up is Saxon's Z3X jetpack rockets, range 2 to 3, 3 red. This is a tappable, but don't worry because he's got cycle on it as well. There's also blast, impact 2, 10 points.
Nice. That's kind of the same vein. It's like, hey, what range do you want Gar Saxon to be able to reach out and touch? Are you comfortable with him not, doing damage until he gets a little closer and maybe being a linebacker? Or do you want kind of an option for every occasion? I know the pool is not like, you're not throwing like 6 dice, something crazy like that. But, 3 dice, range 2 to 3, surging to crit because that's his profile. With that extra impact on there, the cycle is just the bow on it. I think if you're going for that leaner Gar Saxon build, this is a nice compromise to allow him to touch an extra range band, and then you jump in, you shoot at range 1 to 2, and then you jump back out, get your cycle weapon back, and do it all over again. I really like this kit for him.
Yeah, or I think the blast is the extra bow on there.
Yeah, the blast helps, overcome the sharpshooter 1 that he has on his card. So very big. And of course, if there wasn't a second weapon with a Z in it, this wouldn't be a Legion release. We do have the flame projector, which is melee, awesome, to range 1. It has the expend icon, so you're only going to get one use out of this thing, but it is a black-white blast spray and a nice little touch, but a fitting one for a flamethrower, suppressive.
Yeah, so flamethrower was suppressive on it, which now that I see that, I'm like, why wasn't that a thing to all the previous flamethrowers?
Oh, yes. And that's one of those things too, man, when you see like later iterations of something and it maybe has like a keyword that made sense but maybe wasn't considered or wasn't even in an earlier part of the game. People like to throw around like power creep and complain about it, but man, I'm just happy we learned. Why do the later factions have to suffer because the developers learned a lesson? Like, that's awesome that they threw that on there. Who knows? Yeah. Maybe we see it on, maybe a change happens later on where it gets added in. Or, dude, maybe he's just got the best flamethrower in the galaxy because he's like the OG Mando badass.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Well, Jay,
¿Por qué no los dos?
I look at this weapon and I think, wow, that's a lot of work you're going to be able to get out of that. I'm thinking I'm going to pay 15 points, 20 points, maybe 25 points. How expensive is that flame projector going to be?
Oh, coming in at a minuscule 5 points.
Wow.
I love it. What a great deal.
It is a consumable. So
I was joking around about that kind of lean build earlier, and another one that I was thinking was just doing Gar Saxon with the rockets for the range 3 tap, because, you have a speed 3 move. It's not going to be hard to get in range 3. And then the flame projector is the second armament that he's rocking. So you just really, really lean into that kind of mid-range linebacker role. You can clear out a squad with the flame projector, jump back and use the Mando rockets again. That's really, again, there's a lot of stuff here in his kit that I'm loving. We haven't even got to the command cards yet.
I think you're missing one of the upgrade cards, though.
Oh, what could we possibly be missing?
Where's the Darksaber?
Well, you got to earn
that was on the Vizslas, not on the Saxons.
Yeah.
I thought everybody got
so
a Darksaber
close.
now.
Well, I know you called it the Village Bicycle, but not everybody can rock the Darksaber.
But speaking of potentially, and this is pure speculation and conjecture on my own part, there is a picture of the model being built with a shield on it. So it's interesting that no shield was shown. Now, of course, I said before with the Maul, holding the double lightsabers but doesn't get to use the double lightsabers, all models are rule of cool. Yes. Obviously, there's no WYSIWYG in this game. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people going, maybe there wasn't something we didn't see. Let's just curb our expectations if we open the box and don't have anything. We're happy. We got some awesome upgrades in there already.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was under the Frenzied Gunner.
Yeah. That's the backside of the Frenzied Gunner. One side is defense, one side is offense. You can't use both.
But he has some amazing command cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I'm, one of the things that stuck out to me the most, and, I'm sure we'll do the play-by-play here, but I love that he is that type of leader that gives you more orders that you would expect on a card. I loved this on Attack of the Clones, and I love when Legion does this. His 1-pip is just Gar Saxon. His most 1-pips are just a single character or unit. But Fight Another Day, Victory or Death, both Gar Saxon and 2 troopers. I wonder if you should run 2 units of Mandos with him. I don't know. It's almost like his cards are built exactly to support exactly 2 squads of Mandos, and I am here for it.
Matt, that sounds pretty great.
Go ahead and pick one of these 3 cards, Matt. Which one are you the most excited for?
I'm going to start with the first one, marked for elimination. This is the 1-pip.
I was really hoping you'd pick the 2-pip just to spite me for making you do that.
No.
Tell me about marked for elimination.
If I've learned anything from Matt, if he's given a list of things, he always works left to right.
Yeah, 100%. I'm very methodical that way. Gar Saxon, of course, is getting that. Gar Saxon gains 2 aim tokens. Choose an enemy HQ or operative unit. That unit gains 4 observation tokens and 2 suppression tokens. I got a pin down!
It's more of the screw this guy in particular.
Yeah, yes, and here I've drawn some diagrams on how to do that.
Yeah, and we were talking about Gar Saxon being a little aim hungry on that sniper rifle, and I love that this card feeds that. It would feed his lethal and his long shot, which is great. But also, and a couple of people have already pointed this out, the two things don't have to be the same target. Gar Saxon can go try to gun down one thing in particular and pop this ability on a completely different unit and give them 2 suppression and observation tokens. So if you've got 2 units that are super important to remove, maybe Gar Saxon uses his 2 aims to focus on one, and the rest of your army is now buffed up against that other unit. Because Gar doesn't have to use the observation tokens. That can be anybody that's friendly to him. So honestly, this is a great card for multiple reasons, and you don't even need to really focus on one guy or one unit or whatever to get Value Town out of it. And I really like that.
And maybe getting ahead of myself with some of the bounty hunter cards we're going to be looking at, but this will say, hey, maybe this guy, you should collect the bounty on him.
Hey, I like that. Marked for elimination working with bounty. I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What about Fight Another Day, Dan? Fight
Another Day. Now, you made it sound like you wanted this card. But...
No, I want to say the last card's name, so you take this one.
Okay. It's Fight Another Day, 2 pip. Like you mentioned earlier, unusual, Gar Saxon and 2 troopers, so giving out 3 orders on a 2 pip, which is great. The one limitation, though, Gar Saxon cannot issue orders beyond range 1. So you got to have your little Mando cluster of strike team going in. But when Gar Saxon issues an order to a unit, that unit gains 1 dodge token, which, considering Mandos, if you're putting him, have defend 1, meaning they're getting another dodge token. Gar Saxon and each friendly special forces unit gain outmaneuver, so they can use those dodge tokens to dodge crits.
Love it. And and one of the other qualifiers that I saw in there that was interesting is that unit gains 1 dodge token. Gar Saxon and each friendly special force unit gain outmaneuver, so you don't have to give the special force unit an order for them to benefit from that bottom part of the card. So again, if you have 2 other troopers you really want to give dodge tokens to, aforementioned bounty hunters, or maybe some of your pikes that really love dodge tokens, you still are going to gain this benefit on your super commandos, for example. So again, just really, really nice little tidbits here in these cards that give it a little more depth than initially meets the eye. So really excited. And of course, the last one is cake or death. Oh, sorry, victory or death. Sorry, I had to throw the Eddie Izzard on there. Victory or death, 3 pip, Gar Saxon, and 2 troopers, just like the 2 pip. It has the opposite effect. When you give an order to a unit with Gar Saxon, that unit gains 1 aim token. And again, that does not have that qualifier of range 1 only, so that'll be a little more far-reaching. And of course, Gar Saxon and each friendly special force unit gain outmaneuver, just like before. So we're going to see a lot of outmaneuver on those Mandos.
I'm stoked for Gar Saxon. I think he's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Having him be the core, the anchor for a couple of Mandalorians out there too. Yeah, 100%.
Give me that awesome, freshly stubbled chin of his on the table, and we will crush all who oppose us. I'm looking forward to it.
So, like you were saying earlier, stock and high velocity is going up, 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 up.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that honestly, he's not the worst tool against other Mandos with that high velocity sniper rifle. Oh great, you have 2 dodge and outmaneuver. Blink. Try again. Yeah, impervious, but the lethal's still lethal. The way to kill units in Legion is to make them roll dice. To make them roll dice and they go down. Yeah, he's going to be great at actually hunting, other high value red save units like himself. Really, really going to get a lot of value out of that, I think. Now, we talked about Gar Saxon. We talked a little bit about Upgrade Pack 2, but I'm sure there's another part of this upgrade pack you are dying to talk about here, Dan.
Yeah, so speaking about hunting high-value targets...
Yes.
Our bounty hunter friends have all gotten refreshes, and their cards will be in Card Pack 2.
They took a recover action, and they're ready to go for the battle. Go for it.
Hey.
Now, the most interesting thing I noticed that no one else has brought up on any other cast or anywhere else yet, the portrait art on each of the cards, showing them side by side, has been, they've done the zoom enhance. They've
zoomed in. You know what's really funny is that's actually the first thing I noticed when when I looked at the podcast sheet here. I was like, oh, they zoomed in the pictures. Did Dan like crop this or something? Like, what's going on? So that's you know what? I didn't even pick up on that. That's awesome. That's cool.
But no, the actual things that have been changed. So our good friend, Mr. Bob A. Feet, has gotten his update. He's listed at his current price of 120, so they updated the price as well. Keeps his Jump 2, Arsenal 2, Bounty, Impervious, Sharpshooter 2. That's all the same. He's gained, though, Independent, Aim 1, or Dodge 1.
Love it. That is, honestly, to see Independent, spoiler alert, make all 3 characters, great feature of, this new mercenary wave. And it helps recover that, feels bad of not giving your operative an order that, we had with Double Bounty List and other such lists like that in the past. You felt like you were losing a lot if you didn't give them an order. And this goes, a small way to remedying that. And I think that's great. I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's a good shtick to have if that's what you're going to go with. There was also, he gets an extra gear as well. And is it? Oh, that's what it is. They
insert this is the comms, which did you guys cover transponder or no?
Yes, we did.
Last episode, yes. So transponder would be
transponder is great on him.
I'm just every card that has a comm slot on it now.
Yeah, I remember chatting in Discord, and when transponder came out, and I'm like, oh, transponder would be great on.
Yeah, no, I'm super here for transponder on Boba, but I believe he got a couple other small touches, did he not?
Yeah, he got some extra sharpened boot spikes, so one extra red on that, and then watch out for those wrist rockets because they've got extra black.
They're not wrist rockets anymore, unfortunately. Now they're integrated rockets.
They're integrated knee rockets. I watched Book of Boba Fett.
Why didn't they call them knee rockets? I know they couldn't reuse the name for a different weapons profile, but why not knee rockets? Why integrated?
Maybe because he's got rockets in other places. You just got to play and find out, Dan. And I like the other sneaky addition that I think is still going over people's heads a little bit. I love versatile on that. That is so cool that you can go get Boba stuck in. And you can, give him that dodge, so he's a little harder with this 3-up save and his dodge to get out of combat, and then still be firing stuff out of that combat. I think that's great. That seriously goes a long way to keeping Boba impactful on the battlefield. And I'm going to say it because it always comes up with Count Dooku. Just because it has versatile, you cannot use it in melee. Versatile just lets you shoot out of melee. That argument started to come up again around the internets, and it happened when we saw Dooku's 1-pip card. Versatile does not let you use it in melee. It just lets you shoot out of melee. Please do not ask on the forum 50 million times. Please and thank you.
This just makes Boba harder to tar pit, because you think, I'm going to throw a squad of B1s at him, so he's stuck there. Nope, he's still going to be integrated rocketing out of that.
He's full on John Wick gun-fooing out there. So, all right. What about my main man Bosk? What
Bosk? Yes. Honestly, it seemed like Bosk's touches were a little lighter. But one super common sense one that I think people have been asking for a long time. We actually, this doesn't happen very often, but he lost 2 keywords in Expert Climber and Unhindered, and they just gave him straight up scale, which is great.
Good.
Yeah. Great, so basically the same revamp all the Wookiees got back, a few updates ago. Which big was like
win.
What? Yeah. And on top of that, he also got Independent Surge 2. So it helps with that defense.
Ooh, okay.
Yep, definitely helps make him just a little more reliable on defense, which, again, is another great little light touch for him, because I know that's the biggest complaint people had. You'd get him out in the open, you do the double tap, or, you do the lying in wait, and he couldn't take a swing back. This goes a little bit farther to help him take that swing, to keep him relevant.
And I see there's little symbols on the top there. Who does he actually work for there?
We forgot to mention that.
Yes, that would be the reason why I shame me. Please feel free to shame me because I had a boss. I was an Imperial player. That's what I started playing Legion with. That's what I went to Worlds with. That's what I
Mhm.
played for the first couple of years of the game. And I got into Legion knowing that droids would one day probably be a thing, and I was clearly not disappointed. And I actually sold my boss with the rest of my
That's why you had
Imperials.
to order him again.
So I did end up ordering him a second time because he is back, baby. And not only is he, going to be in Empire like he is currently, but yes, the droid players like myself will get to enjoy a little bit of the lizard action. And again, I'm totally here for it. I love it. I had dreams the other day of Dooku using his Lightning 2 pip against a unit and throwing it out in the open for boss to nuke it. And I am here for that.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Nice. And we did miss it on Boba's card. He is still Imperial only.
Yeah, Boba is Imperial only. There's nothing hidden behind the little gray dot. Don't ask.
Yeah,
And,
so the gray dots are not edited out, people.
No, they're not edited out. Stop asking me.
Yeah. Our good friend Cad Bane, who is also joining the Imperials. So Imperials are going to have lots of bounty hunter options.
Oh boy, Cad Bane.
Yeah, considering how much he talked about, demonizing someone working for the Imperials in Book of Boba Fett.
Well, you had to get that experience to demonize them somewhere.
Yeah, yes.
So, also one that seemed to get a couple light touches. The addition of a second training slot, super nice. Also one that I'm here for, and I like seeing that added to his kit because I know my fellow droid players sometimes would have a hard time deciding what they would put on him. And I know there are some new upgrades teased, like up close and personal. That might be super nice for stuff like Cad Bane.
It's not a training slot; it's the up close and personal slot.
Yeah, for me, it feels like it is. And again, there we saw basically what was it? It was point drops across the board basically with these cards. I know what is he? Is Boba 125 now, or is he 120?
He is 120 now.
Okay, I was going to say, regardless, it was nice that, generally speaking, we saw a little bit of a drop with bounty hunters because it'll make putting upgrades on these guys to take advantage of these slots just a little bit easier, as well as, we already mentioned the Independent Edition. In this case, we have the addition of Independent Dodge 2. Great
Beautiful.
situational awareness, probably making an appearance in one of those training slots now. And it might have been hard to notice, but his danger sense did get bumped up from 2 to 3.
It is. Yeah, extra danger sense. Looking really good on that. Also, he now surges for a crit instead of just a hit. So there you go. A little bit more deadly.
Easier to get that damage through. Love it. Great little touches across the board.
Yeah. No.
Cool.
And yeah, dropping 20 points helps also. But right. We also got a preview of some the back of the box for the Mando and Grogu.
Oh yeah, so another bounty hunter that will be coming soon got dropped on the Asmodee store, just kind of out of nowhere. The Asmodee web store. So that'll be coming out on October of this year.
Nice.
And we got both the pictures of his box and pictures of the model. Interesting things on the box. He's going to be able to work with both Rebel and Imperial.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. I'm honestly makes good sense to me. I did not take a super close look at this box, or at least the back of it. But is that Baby Yoda eating a little frog?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh
so
my gosh.
there are two models for Grogu. One doing the magic hand thing, and then the other model, which will be the only model everyone will ever take, will be one with a frog half out of his mouth.
There's the one he's eating the frog,
good.
and then there's the wrong one.
Yes, exactly. So just like Cad Bane being modeled with or without a hat, there will only be one decision that anyone can ever model this with.
I am 100% here for it.
You are here for all of this, and I'm right there with you. I'm standing in line. Okay.
That's great.
One thing I did expect more to see though on this was some more modeling options for Mando, because like on all the other boxes we've seen, there's been at least one model option on the front and a different one on the back. Garsak's in the example. But this one, both the front and the back show Mando with the kind of pistol at the hip firing pose.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll probably be some extra pieces.
Because maybe his the little forked rifle or
right the handband rifle or
Do you think
I know? No, go for it.
Do you think there's going to be an option for without the helmet? Maybe there's a terminal nearby. You don't know.
If they did that, I would consider putting that on him. I would totally consider it, just because, like our incoming Ewok overlords, there would be people that would make us think about it, and I'm here for it.
Man. Yeah. This isn't the way. This isn't the way at all.
This is not the way.
I'm sure they just couldn't get the likeness rights for Pedro Pascal. I'm sure they were just.
How did you sculpt that perfect face?
Yeah,
yes,
it's so much handsome on a single model. Okay, the coming up in 1 week now, we do have the Ministravaganza. Well, this next week, Dan. What are the highlights for us there?
So of course, Ministravaganza is coming up. What was it? The 9th to the 11th.
Yes.
So
soon.
Yeah, real soon.
Soon.
With a little campaign thing that we can play with too.
Yes. Actually, I didn't get that in the show notes here.
It doesn't look like it's going to be as new formatty as previous Ministravaganzas, but the fact that we kind of already know what it is, so people can prepare to jump in and play those games. I mean, that was like half the complaints right there, right?
Yeah, so thank you, AMG,
awesome.
for at least giving us a heads up, and also giving us a heads up that it is standard list building rules and not something wacky like
honestly, that was the best part for me, was that, yep, we know what it is, we know exactly what to do, and we're good to go.
Yeah, so I know Matt and I are planning on going down to the game store on that Saturday to try and get a game, and I think Jeff is going to be down there as well. So yeah, we are excited to thank you for letting us know so we can be prepared and go in and do that.
Hey.
But on Thursday, of course, right after the opening ceremony, Star Wars Legion: A Hive of Scum and Villainy from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Thursday. I'm hoping that we'll get some of the last piece of information we don't have about Shadow Collective and Mercenaries and all this so far, which of course is all the mercenary rules. Hopefully we'll have a new RRG with all the new keywords, like, Allies of Convenience it costs a lot of speculation on the forums, as well as the Force Organization and the other 4 battle forces. We still don't have those Force Orgs yet for the core factions. So hopefully we'll get that either during this or right before it. Right after that, from 11 a.m. to noon This Is the Way to Paint. So I'm assuming they're going to be painting up that wonderful Mandalorian model there.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got Nick Fury, X-Wing, Armada. Hey, Armada's getting a painting stream.
Hey.
Oh yeah, for all the loving ribbing that we give Armada, you guys are getting something.
What's the last one on Thursday?
Oh, Thursday, Hobby Hang Star Wars Ewoks from 7 to 9, a 2-hour block.
Woo! I'm here. I'll be there.
So I want to see all the crazy paint jobs that people are going to do. Like, I want to see Care Bear Ewoks. I want to see the meme potential is crazy. On Friday, let's see, there's Marvel Crisis Protocol. Then from 10:30 to 11, Need for Speed, Star Wars Legion Hobbying. Curious what this one's about. Can't really get much from the title on that one.
I don't know.
I'm actually, obviously.
Yes, there you go. It's the T-47
hot new
stream.
T-47s coming out.
We wanted to name it, Too Little Too Late, a T-47 stream. But that just didn't have the same ring to it.
Hey.
No, I like we said, I am here for whatever it is, because, as we learned, especially in the previous Ministravaganza, one of the things that I took away from it that I liked about it the most was just how much they got into the nitty gritty and some of the background and the art and the lore and all that good stuff that makes, being a fan of the game, but a fan of the background where the game comes from, it makes it worth it. So I'm happy to see that at a minimum, just because it means we're going to see more good stuff.
Awesome. And I don't see anything other obvious that's Legion. Oh, I guess Outer Rim Showdown, Star Wars Legion gameplay. Looks like we'll have some gameplay.
Yes.
I'm assuming Shadow Collective, since it says Outer Rim Showdown.
One would hope. Maybe it'll be 2 Jawas in a trench coat, right, Matt?
Oh,
yeah.
But for Destruction, painting battle droids on Saturday.
On Saturday, yeah.
Awesome.
I love and I'm assuming this is B1s or B2s or something like that. I love that there was speculation going around Facebook of, they didn't say what type of battle droids. We might have Dark Troopers or crazy.
Yeah, Dark Troopers. That's the safe bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it does say battle droid in the name B1, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's cool. And I was actually geeking out a little bit over the Saturday morning stream, Mad Scientists and Crime Lords, because this was mentioned on an MCP cast that I follow. I'm really hoping they do a little, maybe a little Vulture action for MCP, because he's a personal favorite that I would love to see come to the game one day.
Is it going to be Michael Keaton or Old Man in his pajamas?
Yes.
Or the fur scarf.
First one, then the other.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's been lots of hype about the last couple things on the schedule to see the new Asgardian stuff, superhero's best friend. Hopefully they'll paint themselves up a lockjaw. Some X-wing repaints, and full of surprises, a Star Wars stream.
So yeah, very vague on that one.
Yes, very vague on that one. We'll just
maybe it'll be full of surprises.
And maybe it'll be full of surprises.
All right, guys, we have gone. I think this will probably clock in as the longest episode we have ever recorded, and a large part of that is due to Mr. LJ Pena. Thank you so much for joining us on the cast today. It's always a pleasure. Dan?
Yeah, it is always great to be here.
Yeah. Dan, thank you for all the work and putting the notes together and all that. And thank you, everybody out there, for tuning in. But if you have any news, questions, or feedback, you can email us at legionoutriders@gmail.com. Stop by our Facebook page, Facebook/Legion Outriders, or you can find us out in the world. LJ, where can people find you?
Folks can find me on the Legion Facebook group. Still technically overlord of that. And they can also find me on the Legion Discord, still helping run that shop, as well as the Rules Forum, answering all of your questions. Talk Polite on Discord and the Rules Forum. I'm also down here in sunny Southern California. Folks, if you're looking for games, if you're trying to find a community and you're in that general demographic, hey, reach out, because Legion is growing down here, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. Also, a member and hang out with the folks over at Team Relentless. They're still putting out content here and there. They also have, they have that promo tracker that just got updated with some of the new stuff we saw this last weekend. So still working with them, and of course the Legion tournament circuit, tracking tournaments, giving out prize support, and just trying to help those TOs that are trying to grow their local events.
Yeah, you got to keep cranking the Relentless content, or else you'll have to change it to Relented, and we can't have
Yes, it's Team Relented. You hear that, Ben? You keep producing videos until morale improves.
That's right. Dan, how about you, bud?
So yeah, I'm hanging out on the Discord as either Outrider Dan or Dan Tech. I will be heading over to the Rules Forum to ask LJ if we can use Versatile in Melee. And I do like to hang out in your streams, Matt.
Thank you. Yes, you can find me streaming on twitch.tv/captain_archer, on Twitter @GRN_archer, or on the Discord as the aforementioned Captain Archer or Outrider Matt. But thank you again, everybody. We'll catch you next time, and may the Force be with you.
This concludes the current episode of the Legion Outriders podcast. You may cultivate a tactical advantage by observing the Outriders on Facebook or Twitter @Legion Outriders. wisdom advocates subscribing to the podcast. Acting otherwise is reckless.